there, YouTube friends. I am Cindy, and this is Sincerely Cindy Settle. Today, we're going to review The Wish by Nicholas Sparks. Okay, so as many of you I'm sure know, Nicholas Sparks is a pretty well-known romance writer. I want to say that this might be the first Nicholas Sparks book that I've read. I know I have Message in a Bottle here on my bookshelf somewhere, but I don't think I've ever read it. Of course, I've seen many of the Nicholas Sparks movies. So anyway, so The Wish, let's talk a little bit about this. I don't have my notes with me, so I am going to wing this. So this is more of a Christmas kind of, well, not really themed, but it does take place during Christmas time and then over some months before and after. So we meet Maggie, who lives in New York City. She is a photographer, pretty well-known photographer, does, sells some of her work and travels quite a bit for work. She is single. She has a gallery in New York City with another artist. She meets a gentleman by the name of Mark who comes in to the gallery and wants to work at the gallery. She is looking for another employee. During this time, we learn a little bit about Maggie, and she has some circumstances that require her to hire someone for the gallery, and some circumstances in her life where she also starts a YouTube channel in which she starts kind of identifying some things that she has going on in her life and kind of documenting her journey. And so she's worried that this Mark gentleman might be someone who's like a fan from her YouTube, and she's a little skeptical about him coming in and working for her. So anyway, she ends up hiring him. They get to know each other a little bit, and along the way she starts kind of telling her story of her life and how she came to where she's at. And so we get some flashbacks to 1996 when Maggie is 15, 16 years old. The majority of the book, that 1996 time, does take place on Ocracoke Island. So again, if you're familiar with Nicholas Sparks, you will know that a lot of his books do take place on that, like Cape Hatteras, Ocracoke, that region of the United States. So North Carolina, South Carolina, that beach setting. So anyway, so we go back and forth from 2019 to 1996. She was sent to Ocracoke when she had some circumstances happen with her. She goes to live with an aunt who had been a nun. She is single. She doesn't know this aunt very well. She's a little bit older, but she goes to Ocracoke. She meets her. She starts to live with her. She is doing some, not online schooling, of course, 1996. So she was doing her school work from Ocracoke, but she is from Seattle. So her family is back in Seattle. Her sister's back in Seattle. She always kind of felt like as she was growing up that she was the lesser of the two sisters, that her other sister was like the award-winning child and the favorite and that sort of thing. So while she's on Ocracoke, she's 16, this boy by the name of Bryce starts to tutor her. And so they get to know one another. We do have a little bit of a love story going on there. And then she suddenly has to leave. And so then we see the remnants of that love story and this relationship developing. Now, I don't want to say relationship. I mean, it's a relationship, but it's not like a romantic relationship. Relationship developing with this Mark fella in New York. So we do go back and forth from 1996 to 2019. I want to say, if I recall correctly, it is all Maggie's point of view. So we're hearing things from her side of the story. So this was a 3-star book for me. It was a good story. I enjoyed it. I really enjoyed the Ocracoke piece. Like I said, it does take place in both time frames over the Christmas holiday. So in 2019, it starts off like right before Thanksgiving. And then in 1996, we start off around, I want to say it was like September, October, and then we go through about March. So you do have Christmas elements that are coming in there. There's at one point, you know, Mark and Maggie are decorating the tree and exchanging gifts, and Bryce and Maggie are decorating the tree with her aunt, and you know, so it does take place during that time, and there are activities that are related to Christmas. So if that's something that you enjoy, kind of holding off on kind of those books that have that Christmas time frame, then this would be a good book maybe to hold off until next Christmas. But if that's not something that is important to you, then I mean, you could read this book really at any time. So this was a 3-star book for me. I felt like it was rather slow. It was just, I kept waiting for something to happen, and it just didn't quite get there for me. I would say the last 20% of the book, now I'll admit I kind of boohooed cried at the last 20% of the book. It's a well-written book. Again, if you've read Nicholas Sparks, you know that he's a good writer. I just had a hard time with everything just kind of being so, it was just slow. Like, I didn't need to know certain parts of things. Like, that wasn't relevant. And there was a lot of it that wasn't relevant. It just took a while to get to what we needed it to get to. But that last 20%, I mean, it's all well written, but that last 20% kind of really does hit home, and you're like, oh my God, you know, and so it's kind of, you're a mess. But again, if you've read his books, you know his movies, you know that a lot of times the ending does end up with you crying your face off. So if that's the kind of book you like, this is the kind of book for you. So I anticipate that just like many of his others, this one will probably be made into a movie. I'm sure I will check out the movie. I guess I just like to torture myself, and the movie will probably move a little bit faster than what the book did for me. But I've been trying to do much better to not skim through books, just in order to get them finished faster. So I really tried to embrace and absorb the book so that I could really get a good picture of and a good appreciation for the book. So there you have it. That's my review for Nicholas Sparks' The Wish. I would encourage you to read it, see what you think. It did have a lot of 5-star reviews. A lot of ladies in Reading Brings Us Together, which is the book club on Facebook that I have, an admin. And so if you're interested in joining that, please feel free to do so. But a lot of the ladies in there gave it 5 stars. It has a lot of Goodreads reviews that are 5 stars as well. But for me, it was a little bit dry. It was a little bit slow for me. So pick it up at your library. I'm sure it's there. See what you think. Let me know how many stars you give this one. Let me know what has been your favorite Nicholas Sparks book or movie. If you are a fan of Nicholas Sparks, I would love to hear from you and see what your thoughts are. Again, feel free to join me at Reading Brings Us Together on Facebook. I also have a Sincerely Cindy Settle Facebook group where I post some of my videos and talk about books, and maybe post some questions about books and things there as well. I'm currently watching Ozark with my husband, as well as New Girl with my husband. I didn't think that he would like New Girl. It's more of a comedy. That's kind of more my thing, kind of girly kind of thing. But he's actually enjoying that one with me too. We are on episode 3 of Ozark of the new season. And that's about it. Right now I'm reading, what am I reading? 44 Chapters About 4 Men by B.B. Easton. I have read that one before. Love it, but I am reading it for Reading Brings Us Together. We're doing a buddy read and a discussion day of that one. So let me know what you think about that one if you have read it. It is not at all like The Wish, not this kind of romance book. It is a little sexier, if you will. If you like that kind of thing, check that one out. I will probably do a review of that one as well in the next few weeks. So I will see you guys soon. Please feel free to like and subscribe and do all the things so that you are showing your support for my channel, because I greatly appreciate it. I will see you guys soon. I am Sincerely Cindy Settle, and I am signing out. Mwah.